Hey folks, welcome to Software Testing Hacks. Today we have Hemalata along with me for mock interview. She is having 3+ years of experience in manual as well as automation testing. So let's welcome Hemalata. Hi Hemalata, welcome to the mock session. And then could you please also introduce yourself?
Yes, yes, ma'am. I'm Hemlata. I'm working as a software tester in Macroscope India Limited. I have experience in 2 years of experience in manual, and I have 1.5 years experience in automation. Currently, I'm working as a software tester. My roles and responsibilities, sir. I'm working data-driven framework using TestNG, and I'm design and develop the automation test scripts using Selenium WebDriver and Java, and develop the test cases using Selenium locators and test engine annotations and Selenium WebDriver methods. Enhance the test cases using Java programming features and test engine annotations. Execute the smoke test cases and to every new build deployment and share the result. And I involved every regression testing and retesting. And also, I'm executing the Selenium test cases using Selenium WebDriver and defect reports through defect tracking tool Jira. And I'm attending daily stand-up calls for updating the status on manual and automation testing. These are my roles and responsibilities.
Okay, okay, great. We will start with manual testing questions first, and gradually we will go for automation and Selenium both, like Java and Selenium. So first, can you tell me how do you write the test cases?
I'm writing test cases. First, I read the FRS and SRS documentation, means system requirement specification and functional requirement specification. It contains all the details of the document, and I can understand the completely and identify the scenarios and write the test cases in two ways, like positive and negative way, in the Excel sheet, and import those test cases into the Jira. If any
Oh,
bugs found in that time, I just defect tracking tool Jira using.
okay, okay. And how do you ensure that you have covered all the test cases?
Yes, I'm using requirement traceable matrix. I am using this one, and by using this, we can check the all the test cases should cover or not, so that no functionality should miss while doing the test case
Okay, right.
execution.
Yeah. Consider a scenario where you don't have any documentation given, you don't have any test cases also for a particular application, but still you have to test that. How do you test it?
Yeah, and in that time, I go exploratory testing, understand the application completely, and identify the scenarios, and document it, and test the application. If you don't have any requirements, I go to the exploratory testing. I
Right.
uh,
Huh. Hmm. Okay. After that, you will start the execution. Okay. But before starting the execution, what things you consider?
Before starting the once I create a test case, I just give review myself, and I
Yeah.
just give review on those test cases with the business means team lead, and get approved from them. And once they approved, and also get approved from corresponding team people. Once they approved, I start the function related testing, and also find the scope of the testing. Uh, Before the execution, I will do this, and after that, I will execute the test cases.
Okay, what
Once
if,
they approve,
yeah, do you also check whether the environment is set up properly?
yeah, I will check environment is set up or not, and also desired capabilities.
Yeah.
I check at least 1 to 3 times.
Okay. Suppose while execution you will find a bug. So what is the next approach that you do?
At least I check at least 3 to 4 times. Is there any configuration problem, or is there any code problem, or is there any browser version problem? I will check after at least 1 to 3 times. After that, whatever the development team required, like log files and screenshots, all the material gathered, and raised the bug through Jira tool. I
Okay.
check at
What?
least 3 times, like
uh,
is compatibility testing. Sorry, is there any browser version problem, or is there any code problem? or is there any configuration problem?
Okay, but the same issue is not reproducible in dev environment with the developer's environment, but it is
Okay.
reproducible in QA environment. There is some another bug actually. It is not related to environment. There is some, some issue is there, which is, at your end, you are able to see that. But a developer's environment, like dev environment, it is not reproducible. So what is the action that you take to prove that it
Uh,
is happening in QA environment?
in the time, I will inform to the BA or product owner and discussion with the team people to find the correct solution.
No. First, you will have to sit with developer, right? First, you have to sit
Yes,
with
yes,
developer and discuss this is what is happening. You can further go and check the logs, why it is happening in this environment. Because some of the code, if it is, not deployed properly to the QA environment, other issues might also occur. So you can sit with developer and you can check the logs, right? You can
yes.
check what is going behind the scene, right? You can do that. And what do you mean by epic and story in Jira?
It means all the user stories or all the user stories is known as epic.
So you are using Jira to
Yeah.
for tracking all your stories, right? Yeah.
Yes.
So okay. And what is story?
Story is a requirement.
Story is a requirement. So basically, Epic is a collection of stories. Whatever the
Yeah.
task and then stories you create, will group them into one particular epic and put it as a whole epic. So all whenever you want to release a particular feature, once you come and refer that, you will get to know as part of that epic what all the changes we are making, right? So that's the reason we will create epic. Okay. And will you be the part of sprint planning meeting as well?
Yeah. No, right. I
Oh,
just attend only stand-up calls and retrospective meetings.
okay. But do you know what is story point?
Story point. Is the story point is discussing in the sprint meeting?
Yes.
Generally, in sprint meeting conducted by the client along with the scrum master and also team members for discussing about the project requirements.
Mm.
For discussing about the requirements.
Yeah, requirement will be discussed, but later part you will be able to see something like story point. You can see
Yeah.
there will be a field which says this is this much that particular story weighs. Like that much of work needs to be done. Do you have any idea about it? Like
Is
story point?
backlog
No, it
backlog
is not backlog. In after sprint planning or other discussions will happen, and they'll weigh how much that particular story will weigh. Like suppose say, one story will be given, like to develop a particular screen. Okay, based on the analysis, they will make sure like what is effort estimation. It is basically how much effort is required. So one story point or eight story point, five story point, like that they will put the story point. Okay, okay. So fine. Do you know what is severity and what is priority in Jira?
yeah, severity means seriousness of the defect and check the how much impact on business workflow. Priority means importance of the defect and and give the priority of the defect, like uh, which priority should be fixed first. In
Right.
severity, we have critical, major, minor, blocker, and on the phases. In the priority, we have P0, P1, P2.
Can you just give me an example of critical defects that you have faced till now? Any critical defect?
In critical, the main functionality, like we take the Amazon page, Amazon web application, the main functionality is not working. In that time, the customer business workflow is broken. The customer does not move further. That is the example of the critical.
Critical. And what is the difference between blocker and critical difference?
Blocker means if login functionality is not working, if application breaks, uh, if customer does not enter into the login page,
Right,
that is a blocker.
right, right. Okay, good. So we will move on to Java. So what are variables in Java?
Um, Variables means I'm initializing the data, like for example, int a is equal to 10 is the variable,
Hmm.
int b is equal to 20, b is the variable.
Hmm.
Initializing the data into that particular variable, particular data. Yes.
Yes, but it is you can further refine it like it is actually you are you know assigning a value. You are just talking about the assignment of the value. It is actually a memory block. You are making a space for that variable in the memory.
Yeah.
Okay. So that is what is variable, and we have different types of variables. Can you name them?
Different types of variables.
Have you heard of local variable, instance variable?
Yeah, instance. I know the instance variables. I'm using instance variable keyword. I know the instance variables and the variables.
So instance variable is nothing but if you write a particular variable outside the method,
In method,
right? Huh. It
before the
is
main
a
method.
class level, yeah, class level variable, right? It is accessible to the whole class. And what about local variable
Inside the main method, we write the local variables inside the main method.
inside the method? Yeah, right. Okay. Uh, so let's say we have a string called hello.
Yeah.
Okay. If I want to fetch the index or which is third index. Okay. How can I do that? I have a string called hello. I want to know what is there at index 3. How can I do it?
Mm, First, we take the string s is equal to hello, and we start the for loop. We start the for loop, and yeah, we start the for loop. And can I write the code?
Okay.
Okay. Screen. Can I screen share?
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Host disable participant screen sharing. Host disabled participant screen sharing. Coming.
Oh, is it? Okay, I think you can tell, you know, what it is basically a simple statement that you can use.
Yeah. I think I'm using for loop, and if s dot char at I did not tell how to say. I just know the how to count the alphabetical address. In that I'm using break. Uh,
Mm. Yeah. Um, yeah, you were actually you told about it. If you can just recall what you said, you already mentioned about it. You just little think of what it is. Very just a single line statement that you can write.
yeah, if s dot char at I
So that is
like
what the method. Yeah, yeah.
this
No,
this
if statement is also not required. You can just say string dot whatever index you want, right? Whatever
uh,
is at the position 3, you want that.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
So it will give,
int
yeah,
count, int count. Okay, okay, okay,
count. Yeah. So it is just a caret is enough. You will get to
okay,
know. Okay. And suppose say in that hello string, okay, uh, the index will end at 4. Okay. But I'll specify 5 as index. Then what will happen?
Once repeat the question.
So in the string HELLO starts with 0. H
Yeah.
0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello, 5 words and then 5 letters and then it will end at fourth index. But suppose if I specify 5, okay, at that time what will happen?
Yeah, it will execute. It will execute it.
What it will print in the output if it
Hello.
executes?
Hello.
Okay, in the caret method.
Because index start with 0.
Huh?
We using for loop like I is equal to 0, I less than or equal to some s is equal to hello I mentioned s dot length I plus plus. And if you we give the 0, so I will be error.
So what error? Any idea?
I have no idea, but programming error.
Yeah, it will throw string index out of bounds.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So moving on, can you tell me what is inheritance?
Inheritance, there is a class E and class B. Inheriting all the properties of class E into the class B by using inheritance.
Okay. So what is the keyword that you use to, inherit the properties of parent class?
Super keyboard.
Super or inherit the properties of the parent class
Extend.
extends, right? Okay. So any other thing about inheritance? What are the different types of inheritance we have?
Inheritance, we have multiple inheritance, single inheritance. Multiple inheritance means, for example, there is a superclass and subclass. We extend the two superclasses into the subclass, or two parent classes into the subclass. But in Java, we does not extend two superclasses at a time into the subclass. We can implement through interface. We can implement, for example, there is a class A and class B. We cannot just only extend class A into the class B. We cannot extend more than two parents into the child class. We can implement more than two interfaces into the child class.
Okay. Right. So fine. So moving on, can you tell me what is polymorphism and what are the different types of polymorphism that we have?
Polymorphism, uh, there is a method we can do in different ways. Like in polymorphism, we have two types: method overloading and method overriding. Method overloading means in class we have multiple methods with same name passing different parameters. It's called method overloading. Method overriding means, suppose there is class A and class B. If there is a in class A we have some methods which is already implemented. If I want to implement that methods into the class B, we just change only definition part. We don't need to change any method name, return type, and the parameters. We just change only the definition part. It's called the overloading. Overloading, we can possible in single class also. Overriding does not possible in single class. At least we have class A and class B.
Okay. And in case of method overloading, right? Suppose in case I have a method which is returning in, okay, and another
In
method which is returning float, the same name, but it is returning different types. That possible?
in method overloading or overriding.
Suppose say there is a method called add. Okay, add method. It will return. One will return A and B. Two, puts are there. Okay, parameters are there, and another method is there which returns float. Okay, which returns
Okay.
floating value, which is also having two parameters. Is that allowed?
Yeah, yeah,
Will
Lord.
that work?
Yeah,
Are
work.
you sure? Are you sure?
Yeah. You tell me like a public void int, like
Add.
add a
Hmm.
and b. So
Hmm.
other another matter is public void
Hmm.
float add again int yeah, add a and add b.
Hmm.
Yeah, we changed the method's name.
Method name is same, but only the return type is different.
Yeah, it's a possible written type is different. If the written type, if we write in public void into A and B, and also again write via into A and B, that is not possible. We just change the like integer and float. It is possible, I think.
Hmm. Yeah. With same type, it will not work. Okay.
Yeah,
If you
same
just
type.
change, if you just change the, parameter methods, I mean, return
We
type as well,
mentioned
it will.
integer and then we mentioned the float, so it is possible.
Mm. Yeah. Right. And is it possible to overload main method?
Uh,
Yes, it is possible to
okay.
overload main method. Okay. Um, Suppose if a variable is private and what is the scope of that particular variable?
If the variable is private, then we create a method to call
Uh,
that private variable.
it is a private variable whose, I have written, there is a class called test. Okay. And within that, I will say private int A. Okay. So what is the scope of that particular variable? Can
Within the
I
class.
access? Okay. Can
Within
I
the
access?
class.
Okay.
No.
Right. Right. Okay. What happens if a variable is made as final?
The variable made as a final, the value of the variable is constant. We cannot
Hmm.
access.
You cannot access it,
We cannot change the value.
right? You cannot change the value.
Mm.
So is that fine if I ask you to write a program?
Yeah. Tell me.
Okay.
Yeah, fine.
Okay. So let's say we have an array of let's say three numbers. Okay. Can you add those three numbers?
Yeah. Can I write in notepad?
Yeah, you can.
Screen. Okay, ma'am?
Yeah, yeah, right. So can you explain what will happen?
Here we write 1, 2, 3, and okay, 4. We declare as an array, and int sum is equal to 0 we take, and for int I is equal to 0, I less than or equal to a dot length means 0, 1, 2, 3, I plus plus. Sum is equal to int a of I. A of I means a of 0. A of 0 means 1. 1 plus sum is equal to 0. So a of 0 means 1. 1 is stored into the sum. Again for loop 1 plus plus. Now 1 I is equal to 1. A of 1, 2. 2 less than or equal to this a dot length is true. Then again come to the this statement, and a of already sum is equal to 1 is there. A of 1 means 2. So 2 plus 1. It will be stored into this sum. And again for loop I plus plus. I is equal to 2. 2 less than or equal to a dot length true. Now come to the statement, and the sum low in sum we have 3. A of 5, A of 2. A of 2 means
Got it.
2. 2
Yeah,
plus, yeah,
yeah, got it. That's okay. Yeah.
thank you.
Okay.
Can I stop screen
Yeah,
sharing?
you can stop.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, we will go to Java now. And what are the different types of locators that you have used in your program?
Yeah, we have 8 locators we use, that is ID, name, class name, tag name, link test, partial link test, CSS filter, and XPath.
Okay. Suppose say you have a drop down in your web page. Okay. How do you automate that using Selenium?
Yeah, we have a drop down. We just inspect first the drop down, and like driver dot find element, and return type is the web element. We can store as a web element reference variable. We select the drop down in 3 ways. Like select first, we create a select class. Select test is equal to new select, and place the web element reference variable. Now we in 3 ways we select the drop down, like select by visible text, select by index, select by value, select by visible text, select by index, and we have one more method, that is select by value.
Okay. Okay. Let's go to the next question. If you have a link, okay, and if you click on that, another tab will open. Now, how you will automate the next tab?
Uh, Next tab means it is a next new window.
New window will open.
Yeah. In that time, we use get window handles method.
Hmm.
Yeah, we use that get whatever dot get window handles method. Window handles return type is set strings. It return set strings, and I'm using the iterator. Set string the reference. I'm using the iterator, like for example window dot iterator return type also string. We just iterate like string parent window is equal to like it dot next.
Hmm.
String child window is equal to it dot next. I just iterate like this. I just shift to the like driver dot switch to dot window. I just select that if you want to switch to parent window, if you want to switch the child window, window 1 or window 2, like that. I just switch to like that.
Okay. Okay. Got it. And if there is an alert on a window, then how do you handle it?
Alert window, you asking? Yeah, in alert window, I yes, driver dot switch to dot alert. If you want to click the OK button,
Hmm.
there is one method, that is accept, like driver dot switch to dot alert dot accept. And if there is a if you want to text the enter into that alert box, we use send keys method. Driver dot switch to dot alert dot send keys. If you operating like number of like number of like and send kiss method, okay, in that time I just saved into the alert.
Okay.
Use the like
Okay. Okay. So let's see. Can you explain me your framework? What framework you
yeah.
use?
Yeah, I'm using data-driven framework using testing. Data-driven means same task or same operation we can check by multiple set of test data. Is called data-driven framework. In data-driven framework, we need to perform read and write operations. Selenium does not support any read and write operations. We just depends on the third-party tool, that is Apache Py. By using Apache Py, we just do the read and write operations in the Excel. And also we use the data provider annotation. uh, the data provider annotation means uh, mm, supply the data into the our test method. It is a container to supply the data into the our test method by giving the name of the data provider. And I have some folder structure in my framework, like src, log tester, and libraries, config, log reports, and browser folder. In src, all my automation script maintained in the src folder. In src, we have some more modules, like some more folders, like business modules, business components, utilities, page objective models, and all my automation script maintained in the test data folder. In business module, it is nothing but code reusability. We are going to maintain such a functionalities like login, logout, create an account. In business components, it is used to create a generic methods for Selenium actions like click, send keys, and clear methods, and etc. And utilities, it is used to create the generic methods. It will be used in any project, get last row count, get the cell data, set cell data. I'm using all this in utility file. And log reports, once execution is completed, the result is automatically stored into this log reports. Config means it is used to maintain the environment variables like username and password. I'm using Maven dependencies here. I'm using Maven to add the jars in between the dependencies, so the jars is automatically added into the local Maven repository.
Okay.
That is my framework.
Okay. Okay. Good. Good. Okay. Can you explain some of the challenges that you have faced during automation?
Yeah, no such element exception, and element not visible exception, stale element exception, window based pop-up exceptions, WebSocket exceptions, timeout exceptions. We face this kind of exceptions.
Okay. Okay. Suppose say, you have worked on TestNG, right? What are the
Yeah.
different types of assertions that we have in TestNG?
Yeah, we have two types of decisions, that is hard decisions and soft decisions. Hard decisions means if any exceptions throws the hard decisions, then next line will not be executed, then immediately stop that execution. It is the beauty of the hard decision. And soft decision means it does not throw any exception. If that test case is pass or fail, it will be executed. If you want to throw any exception, there is a one method, that is asset all. We write this method, we write this line into the last of the test case, so it will throw the exception. We just create an object for soft decision, and call the methods through the soft decision reference variable. We did not create the hard decisions object.
Okay. 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 Yeah, I think we have almost covered all the topics from your profile.
Okay.
So I think you are good at manual and automation as well. So some of the portions you just prepare well. That is enough. So yeah,
Thank you.
thank you for joining.
Thank you.